What's going on, guys? Yak Attack Football. We got these week 15 picks for you guys. We started off on a bad note on the community tab with the Niners -3. I thought Dre Greenlaw would get them over the hump. He was phenomenal when he came in, did his thing, balled out all over the field, but then he got the knee soreness, and you guys saw the Devondre Campbell controversy where the dude just quit on the team, which is an embarrassment. He's better than that. You know, it was a low light moment for him. I hope that he bounces back from it. You know, maybe he needs some time off for the league. You know, maybe take a year off, get back. You know, a lot of people are going a little hard on him. I think Ryan Clark went a little too hard on him. I do agree with Bart Scott. Shout out to Bart Scott. You know, don't be judging brothers on their lowest moments. You know what I'm saying? People do far worse. People do far more egregious things. People have killed people and came back in this league. So I'm not going to act like Devondre Campbell can't get back in this league. But he did quit on the Niners. And that did cost us that -3 game. It really did, because they had the run game shut down until the two linebackers went out, and then Campbell quit on the team. So, but we're not crying over spoiled milk, guys. I got 6 picks for y'all. We're still doing good this year. We near 60. We were at 60%, but the Niners loss got us down to 59. But we're gonna get right back up to 60%. I got 3 favorites for you. I got 2 underdogs, and then I got 1 specific, like, specialized play, like a second half play. And we'll start off with the second half play. We're going to take Miami Dolphins, guys. Season on the line, second half. The numbers support it. Texans, one of the best first half teams in the league, one of the worst second half teams in the league. I don't really know why that's the case. I just think they're a little bit complacent, I guess. And I think the Dolphins, you know, I think, you know, I don't think too highly of the Dolphins, actually. But I do think they have offensive players that will make plays, and I think those guys don't have quit in them. I don't think they're that talented. I think the offensive line is terrible, but Tua makes up for it with the quick releases and the anticipation throws. I think the defense showed warts, which, you know, the Jets exploited, but there's a lot of talent there. There's championship blood in there. You got Jalen Ramsey still in that backfield. You got Calais Campbell in that front. I trust them enough. I would have liked them a little bit more with Bradley Chubb coming back. They talking about he coming back a week later. But I'll take them on the second half because right now the point spread is at 2.5. So as long as we get a field goal or more on the second half line, I would be comfortable with that, because the Dolphins. Hold on, let me clarify too. The 2.5, the 3 points is not referring to the second half line. It's talking about the full game. So we got to get to, basically it would have to be plus half a point or better for the Dolphins to be a play. And of course, no major injuries, which I will put on the community tab. But really, it's just if Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, or Tua Tagovailoa or Jalen Ramsey get injured, we're pretty much going to back off of it. But if I don't post no on the community tab, it's going to be a play. So that's what we're going with on the first specialized second half pick. Then we're going to do the underdogs. Guys, I don't know what the bookies are thinking, but Mike Tomlin, like I told you guys, Mike Tomlin, greatest underdog coach of all time. Mike Tomlin feeds families, guys. Pickens, no George Pickens, and I say no Slim Pickens. We going with the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, +6. What else can I say, man? Tomlin knows how to coach the hell out of these guys. The Steelers got like 2 of everybody. You know, there was no. I think Alex Highsmith is the most underrated pass rusher in the league because he's got T.J. Watt across from him. So everybody doesn't talk about him, but he's amazing. But even when he went out, these guys still won games with Preston Smith. And then it was one Smith to the other Smith. And then there's no George Pickens, but we also like Mike Williams as a receiver. We like Calvin Austin as a receiver. I like Russell Wilson throwing to the running backs, Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, which he did big in the Bengals game. Eagles have a very good defense, but like I told you in previous video when we picked against them and lost, but point still stands. Brandon Graham is not on that field, guys. That's the leader. I think in a tight game like this, that's going to matter. Eagles run a zone. Russell Wilson's smart enough to see the zone. He dumps off well to the running backs, like I just alluded to. And I think they're going to hang in this game. I don't know if they win it, though, because the Eagles kind of got a lot going on internally, so I think they want to come out and win. But I just think the number's just way too high. I don't think it makes any sense. Pittsburgh has the better defense. Pittsburgh has the better passing attack. So Pittsburgh +6. Pretty much going to be a 50-50 split in the home crowd, too, guys. If you know anything about PA where I live, Pittsburgh is the team, even in Philadelphia areas. Like Philadelphia, they rule the day in Philly, but I mean they rule the area, but Pittsburgh Steelers fans are still there heavy. So I think the Steelers are going to be amped about this one. They're hearing everybody talk about, oh, we're winless. We winless in Philly since the Super Bowl era. This is the best these two teams have been at the same time going against each other. I think it's going to be a lot of animosity in this game. The Battle of the Keystone, Pittsburgh +6. And the other underdog pick we like, aside from that Pittsburgh +6, what was my other dog? Oh, there we go. Seattle +2.5, guys, at home against Green Bay. Green Bay is a very good team. I've always said that. I think they're a Super Bowl sleeper. People think I hate Green Bay. I haven't picked them yet. Just based off my models and my algorithm, they just never popped up as a play. They just covered on a half-point hook. But I think this is a flat spot for him simply because Jair Alexander full practices and they still sat him for this game coming up. Seattle's hungry, guys. The playoff stuff is on the line. And you talking about, like, I feel like LaFleur's getting a little cute here not playing Jair Alexander. And Geno Smith could be a bit of a pick machine. Jair Alexander's veteran leadership would have just been enough to suffice in this battle. But now you're getting cute and you're sitting guys that are really healthy. And Seattle's putting pedal to the metal. They finding out they got a little bit of a run game with Zach Charbonnet. The Seattle offense is good enough with the passing game. You already know that with Metcalf, Jason Smith-Njigba, and Tyler Lockett. Defense, like I've been telling you guys, defense is ready, guys. Mike McDonald figured this defense out. I think Jordan Love's going to make a turnover or two, and it's going to cost him the game. Whereas I thought Green Bay would have also got a turnover or two with Geno Smith. But now I believe Geno Smith is more likely to have the turnover-free game compared to Jordan Love. And I just think even if Geno Smith and Jordan Love both make turnovers, I think the Packers will make 2 to Seattle's 1. So we're really going with the home field, too. Seattle's got a really good home field, and I think they know that the urgency is there for this team. So we like Seattle +2.5 to get this home win, but just in case it ends on a crazy number, we'll be secure. So those are my underdog picks for this week. So we're going to get to the 3 favorites now. Okay, guys, and the first of the 3 favorites will be the Chargers, -2 money line. You've seen how that defense looks, right? Chargers defense ain't nothing to play with, guys. I know everybody's harping on the offense being sluggish. They say, oh, these guys are not scoring 20 points. He scored 17 against the Chiefs. He scored 17 against the Atlanta Falcons. They can't win, guys. The defense is playing very well. Those guys are really balling out, man. Shout out to Harbaugh. Shout out to Jesse Minter. That defense is nothing to play with. Shout out to their GM. I don't know his name, but that GM did a good job with these draft picks, man. Them rookie corners ain't nothing to play with. So, like I said, I'm very impressed with the Chargers defense, and I'm comfortable laying points with them. I know everybody's high on Baker, as am I, but Baker's actually been turning over the ball a little bit too much, guys. I think he's starting to press. And I think the offensive line is getting injured. Tristan Wirfs is playing hurt, and all of a sudden Baker Mayfield these past 2 games had 4 sacks in both games against the Panthers and the what was the other game? Oh, against the Raiders. And those pass rushers are not going to touch the Chargers pass rush. Baker Mayfield had an injury which Davion Clowney had cleated him on his foot and leg area. I think his mobility is a little bit compromised. Bucky Irvin, great running back. He has transformed that running game over there in Tampa from a bottom 5 to a top 10 kind of rushing attack. He's hurt. He left the Raiders game early and was only able to get 1 limited practice in on Friday. So I don't think he's going to be really healthy. The Chargers, they don't have a great running game either without J.K. Dobbins, but I believe that I could trust Justin Herbert to throw the deep ball better than Baker Mayfield to make those splash plays that's going to be needed because both teams are not going to be able to march down the field on each other. Even though I don't like Tampa Bay's defense, they had a good defensive showing against the Raiders, and the Chargers' offensive attack is limited. Ladd McConkey's going to give it a go, but I can't rely on him to stay on the field, so I'm really just betting on the defense here, guys. We're taking the Chargers to win outright. And then the other favorite pick that I like, sorry, guys. The other favorite that we're going with, aside from the Chargers, is we're going with the Carolina Panthers, -2 money line as well. Dallas Cowboys got to be devastated, man. A controversial rule that I don't agree with. The punt block, if the punt block was actually behind the line of scrimmage, it would have been the Cowboys' ball because it didn't cross the line, and it would have counted as them going for it. So they would have had to get the 27 yards. But because it was 2 yards over the line of scrimmage, it ends up being a turnover because it was muffed. I don't think the rule makes sense. And you're punishing a good play. Like the punt block was an amazing play. That punt block should have activated the Cincinnati Bengals to go for it. So the Bengals got lucky, the Cowboys got shafted, and you would think that they would play with resolve after that controversial call, but no, their season's over now. They're pretty much mathematically eliminated from the playoffs now at 5-8, and I don't think they have the resolve to say, yeah, we don't care about the playoffs, we just want to put up a good front. McCarthy's a lame duck coach in my opinion. The Carolina Panthers, they've been eliminated for a while, but their game is just keep rising up. Bryce Young is having a resurgence. He looked like a bust. He proved me wrong. Guy looks like a competent quarterback now. I like Xavier Kuhn-Leggett, dude eating raccoons for Thanksgiving. I think he's gonna ball out. He dropped He dropped a potential game-winning touchdown against the Eagles. I think he's gonna play well today. Chuba Hubbard's going to absolutely destroy the Cowboys' bad run defense. Panthers have a bad run defense too, but I don't think Rico Dowdle's touching Chuba Hubbard. So with that being said, we're going with the Panthers as our second favorite. The error, guys. I said it was 3 favorites. It was actually 3 underdogs. And somebody had, well, not somebody, my lady had noticed that the bear didn't look like he had another eye. He does. It's just that the doll actually has too much hair on, like too much fur on it. So this little giant bear or whatever, yeah, he a little jacked up, but you know, he here or whatever. He here sitting with me for the game. But the last pick is actually an ugly one. It's actually 3 dogs. And the other dog is the New Orleans Saints plus 7.5, guys, against the Washington Commanders. I know everybody likes Washington coming off the bye. They got to win. They're the 7th seed. They're going to keep winning. I think the Saints got them on upset alert here, guys. Chase Young, revenge game. Chase Young just played very well against my Giants. Had a career high 12 pressures. Right on cue against his old team. You know he want to show out. I know they took him, and they also got Marshawn Lattimore on the other side. So I know the Saints are going to want to show out and let him know, hey, you kind of left us hanging here. We're going to show you that you left a good thing. And New Orleans is another home field that I trust and rely on. And I think Jake Haener is an underrated quarterback, guys. The Saints moved. They went with Spencer Rattler on those 3 games that Derek Carr couldn't start. And I think that was a mistake. I think Jake Haener is way more NFL ready. He actually is in his 2nd year. He throws the ball with a lot more decisiveness and precision. He got a lot more velocity on his intermediate passes. I heard that Spencer Rattler has the better deep ball and the better scramble, but really, man, I think the Saints could just march down the field with Alvin Kamara running the ball and Jake Haener hitting on 7 to 12-yard passes. So with that being said, I just like the Saints here. I think the Saints are ready to show everything they have because they're 5-8 and Coach Rizzi has them motivated. So I think they're not going to go out and get embarrassed in this game like everybody's saying. I think I like having the touchdown in my back pocket, and I think the Saints actually might win this game. I think Washington showed you that they have some flaws, guys. Cliff Kingsbury in the second half of the season with the Cardinals and with the Washington is a fall-off. And then also, how did they lose that Cowboy game? They just showed me that they don't have the discipline to win these games against teams that are lesser than them. So I think they're gonna slack a little bit against the Saints, and I think the Saints are gonna make a valiant effort. So we're going with the Saints at plus 7.5 as well. All right, guys. So like I said, we're going to recap these 6 picks that I made. I know I made a mistake saying it was 3 favorites, but it's actually 3 dogs. And those 3 dogs are the New Orleans Saints plus 7.5, Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6, and the Seattle Seahawks plus 2.5. And then the favorites, and then the favorite that I like is I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers and the Panthers -2 money line. You know, I prefer to just do money line, but if you want to get rid of all that juice and vig, just put the -2 in there because you can have a tie and then a win. So then it'll be like a half win, but just in case it lands on a murky number. But I think these 2 teams win. And then the special play, which is a second half play, is sans any injuries, go with the Miami Dolphins in the second half to either lose by 3 or more. They might outright win the game in the second half because the Texans just lay eggs in the second half. So that's it, guys. Those are our 6 plays. Good luck if you tell me. Like I said, we're trying to get to 65%, guys. Let's do it. Let's end this year on a strong note. Peace out.